Good evening. My name is Sarah, and with me today I have Destiny and Molly. Today we would like to share some information with you on how fashion brands have a negative effect on our society. Being tall, blonde, white with tan skin, and having no blemishes are only a few features that are described as the beauty standard. According to the survey completed by Bradley University and a survey of 1,000 Americans, the perfect woman was described as 5 foot 5 inches, 128 pounds with 26-inch of a waist. With the high expectations of what beauty should be, it has led to an increasing amount of mental health and eating disorders. While listening to model Cameron Russell's TED Talk, "Looks aren't everything. Believe me, I'm a model," she opens up about what it's like being a model and the expectations of being the image of beauty for the fashion world. Cameron said the things that we never say on camera is, "I'm insecure." Even the people who we compare ourselves to also face difficulties of insecurities with the beauty standard. Throughout time, we have always had an idea on what we thought beauty should be, and that's because of the fashion industry. The fashion industry has put a negative effect on our society, and it needs to change. Today, we will be reviewing where the beauty standard comes from, how the beauty standard affects people's body images, and those who try to change the beauty standard. The term beauty dates back to ancient times. Egyptian painting shows men who are strong and muscular and women who have a slim silhouette. Looking back in time, you're able to see the expectation of beauty changing. The blog Lemony article, How the Concept of Beauty Has Changed Over Time, goes over the beauty standards from ancient times, Renaissance, 20th century, the 80s, the 90s, and the 21st century. From having a round figure, square flat figure, to an extreme thin figure, the ideal beauty image is slowly changing because of the 21st century. We now live in a time where individuals are slowly trying to recognize what a normal average body is expected to look like. Individuals are slowly shining a light on the figures we meet these new expectations, which are curvy, having stretch marks, and having other beautiful flaws. The impact of social media and its influencers also have an impact of what the beauty standard is. While listening to Olivia's Ballish podcast series, Social Media Has Made Us Turn into Fashion Zombies, Olivia said, influencers have an effect. You become obsessed, they are considered cool and perfect, and seeing people online 100% makes you want to buy stuff. With the fast development of social media and the increase of the users watching the celebrities and influencers promote different products, whether it's being dieting, clothing, or other lifestyle items, these influencers make a large impact with their viewers and can easily have a negative effect on the beauty standard. Knowing where the beauty standard comes from can help us to also understand how it can affect individual body images as well.
Knowing where the beauty standard comes from helps us understand how it can affect people's body image as well. More and more young teens are judging their body based on the world's standards, even though they were made by white men years and years ago. Today, I will be talking about how the beauty standard affects people's body image in many ways. In the article, 10 Statistics of Teenage Eating Disorders, it explains that 2.7% of teens in the US between 13 and 19 years old have an eating disorder. This relates to me as well because I have struggled with bulimia in the past. The beauty standard is usually the culprit for why we treat our bodies so badly. Many will do anything to look the way that they want. Young, impressionable teens are very influenced by social media and what they see online. This has led to an increase in the plastic surgery procedures to perfect people's bodies. According to the American Society of Plastic and Reconstructive Surgeons, in 2020, nearly 230,000 cosmetic surgeries and nearly 140,000 non-invasive cosmetic procedures were performed on teens ages 13 through 19. Teens who are uncomfortable with their body and have eating disorders are the ones who are most likely to get these procedures. Psychiatric disorders, such as social anxiety, can lead to eating disorders as well. In a social situation, teens being visually perceived by others with social anxiety, some might feel constantly nervous and self-conscious about how they look. This can cause them to stop eating, start throwing up food, or even extremely restricting their caloric intake. Depression is another big factor in eating disorders. One might get sad that they were not invited to a party or that their crush doesn't like them back. These feelings can lead to body image issues and create eating disorders for those who feel like they don't fit in with the socially acceptable crowd. Research estimates that 23 to 48% of adolescents with an eating disorder have comorbid depression. This means that usually if a teen has an eating disorder, they'll have depression as well. Another way the beauty standard affects body image is through social media platforms, TV, and many other forms of media. The beauty standard is consistently changing. Therefore, it's impossible for everyone to fit in the perceived beauty standard at all given times. For example, when I was growing up, it was popular for girls to be super skinny and look like a stick. I would constantly get made fun of because of my big butt and having frizzy curly hair. Now that I'm 19 years old, the beauty standard has done a complete 360. I am now praised for having a big butt and curly hair, whereas not long ago it wasn't considered cute. When scrolling through Instagram, many may see people who are known as Instagram models. Even though this title has become more inclusive, including plus-size models, it still gives teens the wrong idea about how their body should look. In an article by Kelly Oakes, she states that mainstream media presents unrealistic beauty standards in the form of Photoshop celebrities or stick-thin fashion models. The amount of editing in these models' pictures is ridiculous, and many teens fall for this every time, believing that what they're seeing is 100% real. On TV, we see many different actors and actresses who are praised for how they look. One example would be Megan Fox, who was originally known for the movie Transformers and how beautiful she was. Many teens wanted to look like her for a long time because she was the beauty standard that they were looking for. This isn't healthy and can make teens second guess if they're pretty or not. Commercials about weight loss pills, exercise, and plastic surgery are also factors in teens hating their body and wanting to change it, like I talked about in my last point. Overall, teens shouldn't base their level of beauty on famous people because everyone's beautiful in their own way.
The way the impossible beauty standard forces many individuals to reflect on their own self-image, and the majority not being at peace with what they see, is appalling. Thankfully, there are many large name brands and influencers that are making a conscious effort to show that all body shapes, styles, skin colors, and differences are beautiful. Which leads us to our third main point, those who are trying to change the beauty standard. An article from the National Geographic states, the definition of beauty has continued to expand, making room for women of color, obese women, women with vitiligo, bald women, women with gray hair, and wrinkles. We have become increasingly more accepting of all forms of the human body, largely because many individuals have protested the grotesque standard, and the evolution of social media has given a voice to those that previously may not have been heard. Putting this amount and type of pressure on those responsible for setting the stage for the beauty world has motivated many to make immense changes to their brands and expand their collections. The makeup industry has always been largely catered to Caucasian women. In recent years, a massive effort by many brands has been put into place to make more inclusive foundation and concealer shades. Many male makeup gurus are on the rise, showing that these types of products are no longer gender specific, which is a huge leap for the cosmetic industry. We now have Dove, Nike, Glossier, and American Eagle being the most notable with their progressive and accepting campaign changes. Dove introduced the Real Beauty Pledge in January of 2021, where they made the impactful statement that beauty is for everyone. They made a promise to use real people instead of hired models, which shows the female body in many forms, which then gives youth the boost of confidence to love the skin that they are in. Although Nike is not a beauty brand, it has made great strides in being inclusive of all forms of athletes. As an example, Serena Williams is a Nike-sponsored athlete. She's received an incredible amount of shaming in the public eye for being a more muscular woman, alongside being a woman of color. With Nike sponsoring athletes like her, it shows that everyone is worthy of acceptance. In 2014, American Eagle launched #ArieReal, which focused on using models that reflect more authentic bodies for women and eliminating the use of Photoshop. They have also made an amazing effort to include women with autism, the LGBTQ plus community, and every shape, size, and color of woman.
As individuals fight against the traditional beauty standard to make changes, it is important that we work together and help make the changes as well. We need to recognize that the fashion brands are creating a negative effect on our society. Instead of setting stereotypes and being a one-way standard, we need to be universal and accepting of all forms of individuals. I would like to thank all of you for joining us today, and as we express our values of the effects the fashion industry has on our society, and we all hope that you complete your own research in supporting businesses who are fighting against the traditional beauty standard, and support the companies who are rebranding their own lines to be open to everyone's shape and size. Thank you.